Ground folks, we got another no AC service call. I actually marked this the wrong way. This is actually the second floor, this is the first floor. Guys, the customer said that their second floor unit froze up and it wasn't working. He had warm air blowing out the vents, and once he got downstairs, he noticed that the AC unit was frozen up and no air was blowing out the vents. And also the water, he said water was leaking from the furnace downstairs in the basement. And he actually had one of the two AC units replaced within the past 5 years, and I believe that was the first floor unit. But the older unit, which is the second floor, that's the one that we found froze up. Let me get a swig here. So what I gotta do, guys, is I gotta go inside. My outside unit is completely frozen up. I gotta go inside, I'm gonna check that filter, which I know is probably still clean, but I'm gonna still check that filter, check the fan, and if the filter and the fan checks out, I'm gonna have to probably turn the heat on to hopefully thaw out that coil, so we don't have to wait here all day for this thing to thaw out. So, all right, guys, let's go take a look, and I'll show you guys how the inside looks. Guys, these are the two Duquesne furnaces we put in a few years ago, and this is our second floor unit, and as you can see, that's leaking. And this customer already got one unit replaced from another company a few years prior, but this is the older unit for the second floor. And as you can see, this unit's froze up. So what I'm going to do is, I was thinking about turning the heat on, but I'm going to actually open up this door to the evac coil. I'm going to see how bad the coil is frozen up. If the coil is frozen up real bad, I'm going to turn on the heat, but if it's like partially frozen, then I'm going to jump out RTW and I'm going to turn on the heat to temporarily thaw out the coil. I'll be right back. And well, guys, she's frozen pretty good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a towel to put on the floor here, and I'm gonna turn on the heat to help me thaw out this coil. Guys, and by the way, we were just out here in May for the maintenance for the AC, and this filter is still clean. So now I got my R&W jumped out. I got my heat running. And now it's time for the waterworks. I got a few towels on the floor. And guys, that's another thing. Whenever you guys thaw out AC units, always let the customer know to expect some excess water to come from the unit. Nothing too crazy, but you definitely want to make sure, for one, make sure your drains are okay, and then two, make sure you put some towels or rags on the floor. But yeah, guys, that coil was frozen up pretty good, so I'm probably just going to babysit the numbers for about, I'm going to just babysit this furnace for about another half an hour. And I'm going to check this coil out again after at least a good 20 to 25 minutes. Hopefully it takes less than that. But yeah, guys, I took this door off on the other side, and like I said, this coil is like plugged up pretty good. I was hoping to get lucky if like part of the coil was frozen or not the whole thing. I could have just kept the fan running, but guys, due to how much excess ice was on that unit, I know I didn't have that much time to just run the fan only. I needed some help from that furnace, and guys, hopefully within the next 20-25 minutes, most of this will be gone. I'll see you guys in a little bit. 10 minutes later. Check it out, guys. We're making progress. Most of it is starting to fall off, but my ducts are still cold, or my supply plenum is still kind of cold, so I'm gonna wait until it heats up a little bit more. And guys, hold on, let me get out of the way here. besides visually checking the coil, a good indicator, if you guys do have to turn on your furnace to thaw the evap coil, a good indicator that your evap coil stalled out, if you got the heat running, is that your plenum will be very, very hot. If the heat is running and your plenum is cold and your doors are on, make sure your furnace door is on and make sure your evap coil door is on. But if the plenum is still cold, that means you can't see it from the outside, but that means underneath the coil, it's probably still frozen solid and you got to give it some time. It was ice cold when we first started. Now it's like lukewarm, but I'm gonna give it like another 10 minutes. And guys, this is very important. If you don't wait for your coil to fully thaw out and you go outside and start checking and adding refrigerant, you will not get a proper reading. And that is regardless of the outside temperature. It can be 90 degrees outside, guys. If you have a partially clogged coil, or if you have a partially frozen coil, your low side will still read lower than normal. So make sure you guys are giving yourself enough time and make sure your coil is 100% thawed out before you start checking pressures. So I definitely made that mistake before of trying to add refrigerant to a partially frozen system. And guys, as soon as it thawed out, all that refrigerant that I tried to force in the system, now my compressor locked out on internal overload because now I had too much refrigerant in the system. So remember guys, refrigerant can't move past a frozen coil, similar to non-condensables. A frozen coil or any non-condensables in the system, you're not going to get an accurate reading. And guys, when you have time, make sure, like I said, you do this right. You don't want to rush to add refrigerant and now you have recalls. So make sure you guys are taking your time out there. And if you can verify that it is frozen, make sure you also give yourself time to thaw it out. There you guys have it. I'm actually going to put the screws back on this door here. But yeah, give me like 10 minutes. I'll be right back. All right, guys. I just came back inside. My plenum is hot. And right now I got the heat running. In the triple digits, which is great. And surprisingly, it wasn't as much water as I thought. The dripping actually stopped. So let me open up the door and I'm gonna show you guys the coil. I'll see you in a little bit. All right, guys. So let me put the doors back on this and let's go outside. All right, guys. For context, this is a Rudd 3-ton 24-euro R22 unit. And once again, guys, this is the second floor. I gotta switch the markers over. I accidentally marked that first floor, but yeah, guys. This unit is 24 years old. I'm pretty sure this is one of the original units for the house. And the customer understands that, you know, this unit was at the top of the mountain at some point and now it's starting to go down. And guys, this customer definitely wants to ride this unit into the sunset, which I agree. Like I said, guys, this customer has been with us now for a while. And like I said, he already went through us to get the 2 furnaces replaced about a couple years ago. So at this point, guys, I gave him the best and worst case scenario as far as adding refrigerant. And guys, we have the notes on the system. No one added refrigerant to the system. The only thing that was done within the past 3 or 4 years on this unit was replacing the contactor. And at this point, guys, I told him, like I said, best case scenario, if we refill this thing and it stays in the system, great. Like I said, let's ride this bad boy out into the sunset. But worst case, if what we do doesn't work, then the customer is well aware that this unit is going to have to get replaced. And guys, when I got out here, I just refilled it. When I got out here, this thing was at a 30 PSI. And remember, this is R22. And right now, it's about at a 70 psi, which equates to a 42-degree coil. And our suction line temp is at a 47. So right now, guys, we're at a 5-degree superheat. And guys, one thing you need to know, right now it's not like real warm outside, which is crazy. Yesterday it was like 96 degrees, but it's less than 80 degrees outside. So inside, guys, it's not like really humid upstairs. And I believe they got a window unit on upstairs. And I told you guys this before, whenever you fix AC units, if a customer has any supplemental heat or AC units running, make sure those units are off, because guys, now when you get to the point of fixing a unit and testing it, if there's no humidity inside, this could screw around with your numbers, especially in the summertime testing the AC. So I just literally refilled this unit about less than a minute ago. And like I say, guys, I'm waiting for my numbers to stabilize. So let's say this is at a 45-degree suction line temp. We're still hovering between a 4 or 5-degree superheat. So guys, what I'm going to do, I actually didn't even go inside yet to check my supply temp, but I'm going to do that. And let me pack this up here, guys. I'm going to go inside, let me check my splits. And by the way, I did put a new filter inside, but let me pack this up and let's go inside. I'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, guys, I'm back downstairs. Let me turn the light on so you can see. All right, supply temp is looking good. And we got our brand new filter in there. And most importantly, everything's drying up. So yeah, guys, this was the newer one that the other company put in. We put 2 new furnaces in as well. And that is the unit that we had to throw out, which is this second floor. Let me put this top back in there. So yeah, guys, we filled it up. She held pressures, and I got 2 more jobs to get to, so I gotta rip and run here. But most importantly, guys, everything's stabilizing. Knock on wood, we're hoping that it's just a very slow leak, but like I said, the customer's prepared for worst and best case scenario, so we're gonna rock out. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.